Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. We're diving straight into something you've probably got sitting in your kitchen right now. I'm incredibly excited to unpack this one because we are doing a deep dive into an absolutely vibrant, fascinating topic: turmeric. We're going to peel back the golden layers of this completely ubiquitous root, unpack the hard science, and uncover the deep history that actually brought it to our modern pantries.
Okay, let's dive into this. You're staring at this gorgeous $8 golden latte, and you kind of have to wonder, right? Is this actually some ancient miracle cure, or is it literally just a trendy, super expensive way to turn your morning smoothie yellow? Today, we're going to challenge the whole modern super spice marketing hype and find out what's actually going on inside this plant.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at the golden root's origins, going from soil to powder, diving into the science of curcumin, checking out bioavailability and hidden risks, and finally wrapping up with practical tips and stain removal.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the golden root's origins, a 5,000-year journey. We really need to look at turmeric as way more than just a kitchen staple or a dietary supplement. It's a massive cultural phenomenon, and it's been with humanity for millennia. But what actually is it physically? Well, it doesn't come from a seed, and it's not a leaf. It's a rhizome. Basically, it's a knobby, underground stem from the leafy, tropical curcuma longa plant. If you've ever seen it fresh, you know it looks exactly like ginger's brightly colored cousin.
And honestly, this humble root has a resume that's just off the charts. We're talking 3000 BCE here. It was a cornerstone of Ayurvedic medicine in ancient India, acting as a symbol of purity and prosperity way before it ever hit your local cafe. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, expanding trade routes brought it to Europe, where folks actually called it Indian saffron because it was heavily valued as this intense golden fabric dye. And today, it's pretty much a global wellness icon.
Moving right along to Section 2, from soil to powder, focusing on cultivation and processing.
So how exactly does this knobby underground root turn into that fine powder on our spice racks? The modern geographical journey is wild. On one side of the globe, you've got thousands of smallholder farmers in Tamil Nadu, India, adopting sustainable, chemical-free practices to protect their soil fertility and biodiversity. And then on the flip side, you have growers all the way in rural Missouri using climate-controlled greenhouses to carefully cultivate endangered, highly medicinal varieties like black turmeric.
But no matter where it's grown in the world, getting to that final yellow powder is no joke. It's not an accidental flavor. You have to harvest the rhizome from the earth, heavily boil or steam it, let it dry naturally for about 15 days, and only then do you grind it. It's a very specific, incredibly intentional sequence of steps required to unlock the spice we all know and love. Okay, let's get into the hard science. Section 3, the science of curcumin, hype versus biological reality. If we want to separate the facts from the wellness fiction, we have to meet the real star of the show here, curcumin. This is the powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory active compound hidden deep inside the root. And it's absolutely crucial that we draw a strict line right here between consuming the whole turmeric root and isolating this one specific powerful molecule.
Because, and here is the crucial point, there is a massive discrepancy. Turmeric powder is actually only about 2 to 6% curcumin. The other 95%? It's just other plant compounds. To put that into perspective for you, the average traditional Indian diet provides roughly 2,000 milligrams of turmeric a day, but that only translates to a tiny 60 milligrams of actual curcumin.
But when scientists do isolate that curcumin into concentrated supplements, the clinical study results are seriously impressive. We're talking clinical trials showing it relieves osteoarthritis pain and stiffness just as effectively as NSAIDs like ibuprofen. It actively helps maintain remission in ulcerative colitis. It's been shown to improve memory in patients with dementia, and amazingly, a study of bypass surgery patients showed a 65% reduction in post-operative heart attacks for those taking curcumin. That is huge.
But of course, there's always a biological puzzle. Section 4, bioavailability and hidden risks. The catch.
Now, before you run out and bulk buy a massive jar of capsules, we have to talk about bioavailability. By itself, human bodies are terrible at absorbing curcumin. Only about 2 to 3% actually makes it into your bloodstream. But if you add black pepper, specifically a compound inside it called piperine, it boosts that absorption by an absolutely mind-blowing 2,000%. 2,000!
But we've got to talk about the risks too. When you take highly concentrated curcumin supplements, you are flooding your system in a way nature honestly never intended.
Turmeric is super high on oxalates, which significantly bumps up the risk of kidney stones if you're susceptible to them. It also acts as a mild blood thinner, so it can dangerously interact with medications like aspirin or warfarin. Take too high of a dose and you're looking at some serious GI distress. And worst of all, some cheap, untested supplements out there use wheat starch as a filler, which is a nightmare for celiacs, or they've even been caught containing dangerous levels of lead. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole divide between ancient wisdom and modern hustle. For thousands of years, cultures consumed turmeric as a whole food. It was low dose, naturally paired with fats and black pepper in everyday cooking, which allowed for safe, steady absorption. Modern culture? We extracted the compound, cranked up the dosage in a pill, and essentially created a potential minefield of hidden adulterants and adverse biological reactions.
Let's bring this all back home. Section 5. Practical tips and stain removal. Everyday magic. Let's put this science to work right in your own kitchen with a healing turmeric ginger tea. You just combine fresh turmeric, fresh ginger, a dash of cayenne pepper, lemon juice, and hot water. But pay attention to that second ingredient there, a teaspoon of coconut oil. Why? Well, curcumin is fat-soluble. That fat literally acts as a biological key to unlock the absorption of the curcumin into your body.
Now, what on earth do you do when you inevitably spill that bright yellow tea all over your shirt? Turmeric stains are notoriously stubborn, but hey, it's just chemistry. First, agitate the fabric underwater with an enzyme cleaner so the stain doesn't spread. Then, hit it with some powdered oxygen bleach and just wait. Fair warning here, the high pH of the bleach is going to instantly turn that stain a terrifying bright red or orange. Seriously, don't panic, that's totally normal. Just wait about 6 hours and the bleach will slowly break down those yellow curcumin pigments and the stain will completely vanish.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take away this quote. Turmeric isn't accidental. It's cultivated, prepared, and preserved with intention. It is so important that we respect the deep history and the complex science of this plant. We simply can't just strip away the context, pull out a single compound, and expect some magic shortcut to perfect health.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you see that bright yellow powder sitting quietly in your pantry or giving that golden pop of color to your favorite mustard, are you just going to see a simple kitchen spice? Or are you going to see 5,000 years of carefully cultivated human wisdom? Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.